Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says, the only show on YouTube where sometimes in Doctor Who, old is new and new is old. My name is Travis and let's talk about how the Mondasian Cybermen are coming back to Doctor Who for the Season 10 finale. For those of you that don't know, the Mondasian Cybermen are the original OG Cybermen from 1966, from their first appearance ever. In a Q&A in 2014, Peter Capaldi was asked which monsters he would like to see return to the show. He responded with the Axons and the Mondasian Cybermen. Moffat quickly dismissed the idea of bringing back both creatures to the show by saying that the Mondasian Cybermen looked like boys with jumpers pulled over their head. But Capaldi then mentioned the Mondasian Cybermen in subsequent interviews, and it looks like Moffat caved. And I honestly think that it's really great that Moffat and the writers were able to do this for Peter Capaldi before he leaves the show. But from a technological standpoint, it's kind of strange. The Mondasian Cybermen are the old models, like really old. Like I said before, their first appearance was back in 1966, and we haven't seen a classic Mondasian Cybermen in 50 years. There's a reason why Daleks don't usually change, except for that one time with the Jammy Dodger, and even then that wasn't much. It's because that the Daleks are perfect killing machines. They are perfect beings. Well, the Daleks believe that they're perfect beings. I don't need the Wall Street Journal coming into my videos and taking my phrases out of context. Travis thinks that the Daleks are perfect. The Daleks are an allegory for Nazism. Travis is a Nazi. That was a PewDiePie reference, but I'm sure you got that. The Cybermen are constantly upgrading and modifying to fix flaws and weaknesses. The Daleks don't believe that they have any flaws or weaknesses. But to be fair, the Daleks have had slight modifications over the years, like instead of being unable to walk upstairs, they can now hover upstairs instead of blowing up a building because they can't walk upstairs like the good old days. The Cybermen were originally 100% organic humanoid who added artificial parts for self-preservation and deleting emotions. There have been at least 5 major redesigns for the Cybermen during the show's history, which is great because they have an excuse. When a classic Who baddie returns to the show, their costume and makeup will be strides better than they were back in the 70s. But why? Why does a Centauran nowadays look better than a Centauran in the 70s? The Daleks, however, are supreme. They have no need for an upgrade. They are the same salt and pepper shakers with a plunger that we've always seen. But the Cybermen have reason to change appearance. As their technology advances, so will their design. The studio has a reason for upgrading the Cybermen's costume over the years. It makes sense with the lore of the story. But Doctor Who is a show about traveling through space and time, and when you think about it, it's kind of strange that the Doctor doesn't always run into old versions of his enemies. So bringing the Mondasian Cybermen back to the show means that there's going to be an element of time travel, obviously, but either the Doctor is going back or the Mondasian Cybermen are going forward. And it's hard to believe that future or present Cybermen will also be there with the Mondasian Cybermen. They'll probably look at the Mondasian Cybermen and think, you need to be destroyed or possibly upgraded. I mean, they are technically inferior, except for with the element of creepiness. And we've only gotten a picture of Peter Capaldi standing defensively between what looks like 4 Mondasian Cybermen, but their costume design looks spot on. One of the things that made the Mondasian Cybermen so creepy was their sort of elements of humanity, like their skin-looking face and those fingers on the hands, but really it was mainly because they were filmed in black and white. I doubt that the Mondasian Cybermen will be as creepy as their black and white counterpart because they will be in color, but we'll see. We don't exactly know why they're there. Also, did anyone else see this photo and think, where's Bill at? Because Bill doesn't seem like she'd be able to fight off a fleet of Mondasian Cybermen. So, uh-oh. Though it could be that the Mondasian Cybermen won't get as much screen time as we might think. The finale is a 2-parter, but are the Mondasian Cybermen the main focus of these last 2 episodes, or are they there mixed in with other baddies? They could possibly only get like 5 minutes of screen time, or 2 minutes in one episode and 3 minutes in another. Or maybe it'll be a finale chock full of villains from the 1960s. The Mondasian Cybermen, black and white Daleks, the meddling monk, the war machines. As for me, I'm kind of excited to see the Mondasian Cybermen return, because whenever they bring back old villains, they always do it in a very tasteful and interesting way. Plus, they have to make these inferior Cybermen designs scary and dangerous and creepy again, which I totally think is possible. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts about bringing the Mondasian Cybermen back to the show. Do you think that it's just Peter Capaldi fan service, or do you think that they can do this in an amazing way and make a really interesting story? As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.